Yep.
All right, welcome to Sideline View. I'm Mike Bialka, sports editor at Brainerd Dispatch.
Jeremy Millsop, sports writer.
And we're at the beautiful Pines today, on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in late April. And I started off talking a little track. Jeremy, you were yesterday at the I think it ended up being a triangular, I think it was, but had some good performances as well as team performances for Brainerd. So tell us a little bit about that.
It was all about putting up a good time to qualify for the Hamlin Elite Meet that is this Friday. Both boys and girls track coaches believe they had some people qualify for that. One would be Allison Kospa in the 800. She dropped 5 seconds from her previous best time this season and ran a phenomenal 800-meter run. On the boys' side, Jackson Walters continues to dominate the hurdles. They're really excited to see how he's going to compete against similar, comparable hurlers of his caliber. He is one of the best that Brainerd's had in a long time. He's close to breaking the school record, so it'll be interesting to see how he does on Friday.
I think he's also ranked second according to the times I've seen in the 110s too, and you should find out this weekend how he stacks up against that #1 guy, because I think he'll be there as well.
Yep. It's the Hamlin Elite Meet. It's hard to say. I'll say it again. Hamlin Elite Meet. It's a different style meet. You have to qualify to get in, and not everyone that qualifies actually goes, because it does count towards the school's meet count. So if only one person goes, the whole school is credited for being there. So it's not the it's a fun meet because you get to see how you compare against the state's best, but not everyone goes, but most people do. So
I'd imagine maybe toward the end of the year they have to pull out of a meet. I would imagine maybe because there's only a certain amount you can compete in. I think. So.
Yeah, Rod Ryer, the head boys golf head track coach, he said 14 meet. Okay. Not a lot of schools actually can come close to doing that. Sure. So it's they kind of save room in their schedule for if they do qualify, they can still go, and it won't hurt the rest of the athletes that don't get to go. So Jackson Walters will probably go the 4x1. He thought had an outside for the boys, had an outside shot. The 4x2 he thought had a really good shot. The relays there, so they're excited to see what they have going to Hamlin, and they did have a pretty good meet. They dropped a lot of time yesterday. It was the first really nice day out for a track meet, so they were happy with the results.
And talk about some golf today. We've got the Brainerd Invite going on here at the Pines. It's underway. I think it started at 8:30, so everybody's kind of making the turn here as we go, and you'll get the chance to see a lot of area teams here. And how do you think it stacks up here for our area teams?
Brainerd's here. Staples Motley's here. They were second last week here at the Pines Preserve. It was the Pequot Lakes Invite. They were second. It was rain shortened, but they had a good first day here at the Pines. Nick Forsberg shot a 2 over 74. Michael Strain and Andrew Israelson both shot 76s, so they put up a good score. Got second to a Lakeville North team that's really good from the Metro. So if they play similar to the way they did last week, it should be okay. I know Pequot's here. They didn't get to play at the Pines last week. They're at the Preserve for the first round, so we'll see how they do. This is kind of their course along Breezy Point, so they'll be fine. Brainerd struggled here last week, though. They were 22nd out of 33 teams, or however many were here last week. It'd be interesting to see how they bounce back. I know Brian Wallace is hoping for some low scores. Michael Foley, I don't know if he's playing yet or not, but he would help the team. Last week, Mr. Stockton, Thomas Stockton, he was the low scorer with an 81. The other ones, I know they want to improve on their scores from last week, so we'll see how they do. It's a beautiful day out, and the score should be lower.
Nick Forsberg has really been swinging the hot stick here, too. I would imagine he'll be right up there challenging for the medalists today.
We just heard an update. He was 2 under after 9 holes, so yeah, he's good. He knows his game, and he knows how to move the ball around, so yeah, he's a good player.
He certainly is. Switch over to do a little baseball here. I guess Warrior baseball team took 2 from Wilmer yesterday. I believe it's 5th and 6th straight win for them, so they've only lost to Bemidji in the season opener, and that was like about the 5th of April, so that's probably going to be their biggest challenge, I would think, in the section. Bemidji's got quite a few people back, and Brainerd's starting to come on. Obviously still much better than everybody in the conference, it looks like. I'm not really sure who's going to challenge them in the conference there. So then tomorrow I'll get my first chance to see the Brainerd softball team. They're ranked 5th in 3A. I know they lost to Bloomington Jefferson last week, got shut out by them, but it was only, I think, 3-0. Jefferson's ranked #1 in the state. Brainerd was 5th, so it was a good indicator for Brainerd to see where they're at. They came back in the second game there and beat Richfield. So, and then they took 2, I believe it was, yesterday again. Yep. So they've only lost that one game down there, so things I think if keep rolling for them, they've got a good shot to get back there. So
going back to baseball, how are they doing it? I know they didn't have a whole lot of returning guys back. What's kind of been their secret to their success?
They had a huge boost from Drew Sanis, who's a sophomore, and Brainerd typically doesn't play a lot of sophomores. I mean, it happens, but typically he likes to bring his, develop his guys as sophomores and bring them up as juniors and seniors. But Drew's been pretty much their top pitcher and their top hitter so far. Blake Peterson, who's a senior, has been doing, he's stepped up this year, playing infield, also on the mound. They've been Drew and Blake pretty much been their 1-2 guys, and then Luke Bourne is throwing some for him. So, and Luke Patron has been doing a good job on the mound too. So, it's always kind of a cultivating process to kind of find out where they're at and who's helping them, and those have pretty much been their top four guys. I mean, it just amazes me every year how people step up and they're competitive. It's not like they have to rebuild for a year. I mean, it's like they're there. If they lose a couple games, I mean, that's a disappointment. It seems like so. Every year it's very consistent. One of the best programs, in Minnesota. So.
Speaking of disappointments, you got to do the boys tennis on Monday. I kind of wanted to talk about the big story for boys tennis, and where your team is the #2 singles player, which is odd. But talk to me a little bit about what they got going on there.
Lenka Zelinska is a foreign exchange student. She's from Slovakia, and I watched her on Monday, and I don't know. I haven't seen many boys that hit the ball as well as she does. She's just got an equally strong forehand and backhand, and really, she was battling a pulled muscle on Monday, but she still beat her opponent, and she's a fabulous player, and she's going to really solidify that lineup. She's been playing from the beginning of the year. I think she's 5-0, and as a team, they lost their first one yesterday to Fergus Falls. It was 4-3, but that attracts a little attention there, I guess. I mean, as far as I know, I don't know that we've ever had a girl playing for the boys team here, so it is permissible by the State High School League rules, obviously, even though there is a girls tennis team. I mean, she wasn't here in the fall, so not that factored in, but girls can try out for a boys team even if there is a girls team in the same sport. So kind of a quirk in the rule, but she's not the only one. I know there's at least one other one doing the same thing this spring, so and she really brings a lot to the table for them.
They were worried about the top of their lineup, and I guess now they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, she definitely solidifies that 1 or 2 spot there.
That Bruce Thompson, he knows how to find them, doesn't he?
He does. Having a good recruiting year in Slovakia.
School didn't pay for that trip.
Yeah.
They didn't. Don't worry.
We don't need an investigation. It's above board. It's above board.
Yes.
So. Well, we've been talking a little bit about the NFL draft. It seems like it's been going on for months. It's like finally it's here tomorrow, Thursday. Who do you think is going to go like the top 3 picks? Maybe talk about what you think the Vikings are going to go to.
The top 2 picks are certainly going to be the quarterbacks. Andrew Luck I believe the Colts have named him. He's going to go there. RG3, Robert Griffin III, will go to the Redskins. They've wanted him since the beginning. Number 3, the Vikings actually have some drama going. I mean, some good drama. They have some options, I would hope. They could trade out. I know the Dolphins want Tannehill, the other quarterback. They could keep it, maybe take the wide receiver from Oklahoma State, maybe take the tackle from USC. They have a lot of options. It's good because they have a lot of needs, but the question is, do you fill a lot of needs or do you fill a big need with a big-time stud? That's kind of what they're having to decide, and I'm sure their phone will be ringing Thursday night when their pick is up, and it'll be interesting. I know there's some players that they need and want, but...
Yeah, I know the one Claiborne from LSU, the defensive back, has been heavily mentioned too. It seems like he's getting a little more momentum that the Vikings just might take him. So, I guess I want to just get it over with tomorrow because I'm sick and tired of hearing it for the last 4 months about who's projecting where everybody's going to get picked, and it's just like, let's get it over. And then, of course, for the next 4 months, we'll be talking about how these guys will do for their respective teams. So it's been kind of it's overkill is what it is. But what's new?
It's amazing how a mock draft seems to get more ratings than maybe in an NHL playoffs or something like that. So
I was actually reading a story yesterday about how this guy started when the draft was in its infant stages, like in the early 60s. He was the runner, so when they picked, he would take the pick on a piece of paper, run over to the Waldorf Astoria or wherever they were, and say, here's who you got, kind of thing. That's how much it's changed to now everybody's so connected and it's all over the place, and it's a huge media spectacle. ESPN, when they first started, I think it was 79, and they approached Pete Rozelle, who was the commissioner at the time, and they said, we'd like to do the NFL draft. And he said, why? Why would you want to do that? Now it's just drama. It's huge TV, and so it's that's how much it's evolved into a media spectacle. So, anything else?
I'm good.
Well, enjoy the day. It's a great day. Jeremy's going to finish off in the golf, and I want to just thank the Pines for a cap to cover up my bald head, and also for Glenn Hasselberg for giving me so much grief that I had to find a hat too. So we got taken care of. So thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you next week again. Thank you.
Bye.